All right, so this episode is about Mr. Bury talking about his recent wins, his recent battles that he's fought, and I
Yes.
must say, congratulations.
Thank you very
There were
much. They were
some very tough,
some unexpected wins in some cases.
unexpected, but well fought, I
Yeah, I
must say.
think so. There was
And
fighting involved.
difficult case, difficult fact, difficult almost everything.
Everything was difficult
Almost
about these
everything.
cases. Traveling to London for several days of trial was difficult.
Travel all the time, keep your life on
Yes.
hold, and just focus on the case.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. So
It
kudos
does.
to you.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about one of your recent wins that happened very recently.
A recent win.
Recent win.
And you've cautioned me that we can't use no identifying features. So
No identifying
gonna be-
features, please.
So this was the type of case I love to hate. Child complainant. They're so hard.
Right.
8-year-old complainant, 30-something guy, he says, she says. They're just horrible cases.
What do you do as a defense lawyer and even cross-examining?
We cringe.
It's
Joe
a
and
child.
Joe, when we talk about these, when I talk about Joseph, we just look at we just cringe because they're just they're hard.
Right.
And in this particular case, I'll just set out the kind of the allegations here. So my client lived in this house. The complainant and her mother were visiting that household for a party that was taking place. He was renting a room, so he wasn't really connected to the people, but he was familiar with her. They had met before at these gatherings at the household. So on this particular day, the mother came to a event at this house with her 8-year-old daughter and even a younger daughter as well. And party was going on. Adults were eating, partying downstairs, and the allegation was that my client gestured to this 8-year-old from the top of his bed. Yeah, come here, little girl. The stereotype to his bedroom. Girl alleged that while she was in his bedroom, he, placed her on the bed and kissed her on the mouth using his tongue, digitally penetrated her, and then kissed her again. This happened a few times. She would go downstairs, come back. He'd motion her to come back up.
This happened a few times?
Happened a few times, and at one point he allegedly, closed the door, turned off the lights, hence the charges of sexual interference, sexual assault, forcible confinement. And of course, the stereotypical, don't tell anyone, little girl, when you go downstairs. So it was hard, and the reason it was hard because she was a perfect little witness. There were no Perry Mason moments in this case. Aha, you're lying, little girl. She testified through CCTV. She did a great job. There may have been one or two material inconsistencies, but not material, but inconsistencies. But as we know, the law allows, the judge alluded to this in his reasons for judgment, that, we give kids, we cut a lot of slack for evidence of children of this age just because memories aren't perfect, recollections aren't perfect. So, this all allegedly happens. They leave the party. She tells her mother on the drive home, this is what he did to me. Mother drives back with her to the party and still kind of just petering out, finishing, and beats the shit out of my client. Just drags him outside of the house. How could you do this to my daughter? Beats the hell out of him.
Not any other mother would want to hear it.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Yeah.
No parent would want to hear that from their child. And he's like, I didn't do anything.
Right.
So his version of the events was, I was upstairs I went to the washroom upstairs because the main floor washroom was occupied. I saw these two little girls in my bedroom.
Right.
They weren't supposed to be there. Children weren't typically allowed upstairs to just wander through various people's rooms. Different people lived there. He went up to her and said to her, look, you're not supposed to be in here. You two got to leave. You got to go back downstairs. The one younger sister went downstairs, but the other one kind of held her ground, according to him, and said, no, make me. So he grabbed her by the elbow delicately and just said, no, you're out. Get out of my room.
Right.
As you'd expect to happen.
Yeah.
And then she turned around at the top of the stairs, according to him, and said, you wait and see what's going to happen now.
Whoa.
But he let it go because he was like, okay, just a petulant.
How old is she again?
8.
Okay.
So he's okay, petulant little girl, pissed off at me because I threw her out of my neat room with my aquarium, whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't think twice about anything. He just stayed in his room. He had done socializing. It was just TikToking away or whatever, Instagramming away, and then he hears this screaming from downstairs, and he comes downstairs to see what the commotion is, and his mother drags him out of the house.
Oh, wow.
Like drags, like headlock, and the children are watching this. The children are watching the mother beat him up.
Oh my God.
So next day, police, and he's charged with these charges.
Just like that, your life is.
Just like that.
Wow.
It was he was terrified. He was like, I didn't do anything. Why would I do anything in the midst of this huge family event? Adults all over the place. People even going upstairs, downstairs when the washroom downstairs was occupied. Like it would have been a totally brazen act. And that's not to say, because we have had cases where some guys get off on the stuff, right? The brazenness of it all. Like sometimes, you're not saying anything. But no, we've heard that.
Unspoken stories of defense lawyers.
Right. We've heard stories. We've read cases where for some, convicted offenders, it's a thing.
Right.
Just the brazenness of it all.
Yeah.
But not this guy. So had the trial. It was a he says, she says, and the mother testified. I just couldn't get anything out of this little girl. Like, she was so consistent, apart from a few minor things. She was great. Mother, obviously angry, and testified as well, volatile. And then my client, he testified. He did a really good job, though. Like, he was not shaken in cross-examination. Mm-hmm. But I did not leave that day with a good feeling in my stomach. I'm just saying, oh, this doesn't feel good.
Right.
Because the judge,
Because you never know. You don't know.
You never know. And, the Crown did a good job of crossing him. Yeah. Didn't shake him materially, but shook him up a bit, gave him a good shaking in the cross. And, and the judge would interject every so often. I was getting signals from the judge that, oh, this isn't going well. Ooh. Yeah, you've had that happen. Say yes so I don't feel bad.
Oh, different battles, different times for those stories.
It's so delicate how she says that. That never happens in her cases.
No, I've had moments where I've had judges just stare at me and I'm like,
yeah, counsel, are you really doing it?
I need to object. There's a reason why. And then, because sometimes I don't like to object a lot during, when the Crown is cross-examining the complainant, my clients, unless I see something really wrong.
Yeah, really, really bad, yeah.
But there are moments when I have seen judges just staring at me and I'm like, okay, there's something that's going on, and maybe they think this is something to be objected on. But I don't necessarily see an issue with it.
No, I know. But again, if this was an adult he says, she says, there's often lots of material we have to work with.
Adult he said, she said is very different compared to cross-examining a child. You cannot come across as an aggressive defense lawyer. You're like, You can't. You just can't. You gotta tone it down.
You'd have to be a moron if you tried to attack a kid. You don't attack kids. There are some tactics we've talked about, I think, in previous episodes, where you try to possibly disarm their train of thought. You jump around different areas and see if that triggers any inconsistencies. But even then, they get such a wide berth of. The judges are like, oh well. It's a kid. It's almost like they have a shield.
But sometimes, I don't know, you can tell me more. Yeah. This has been my experience, that the way I cross-examine children who are complaining is very differently than adults.
Oh, of course.
I am nice. I'm not going to go after you. I'm going to be very nice to you because, first of all, you're a child.
Right.
I'm not going to treat you the same way that I do a regular adult. Second of all, I think there's more in you can get more from the witness when they're cooperating with you.
Right. Oh, of course.
So
that also applies for adults in many cases, But sometimes, good cop, bad cop. Sometimes we have to be aggressive in our crosses.
Yeah.
She said, what do you mean sometimes? I'm aggressive all the time.
I'm always aggressive.
Depends.
I know. You're aggressive. You're aggressive.
So, the evidence was heard and the case went over for judgment. And I just, had to give him the pat on the back and say, good job, you testified really great. And as I drove away, the pit in my stomach, I'm going, oh my God, I can't do another kid trial ever again. That was like too much.
Right. But what happened? Like, what was the issue with the judge, like, the ultimate decision?
Oh, well, I'm getting to that. So judgment was last week. So, we get there, and the same pit in the stomach. It hasn't gone away because I'm going, oh, great, now I have to deal with sentencing. Well, should have been, more optimistic because it was a good ending.
You did a good job.
I did. Thank you. He started reading his judgment, and when you hear these judgments and hear the wrong phrases,
starts off that way. You're like,
oh, he's going down. Oh, great. I don't need this today. It's a Friday. But then he started, giving credit where credit was due for his testimony.
Very good.
The girl as well. He said, well, I know she's a child witness, but there were some inconsistencies that caused me concern. And at the end of the day, he did the most intellectually honest thing a judge can do, which is what we expect our judges to do, which he just said, I can't decide. He said, I cannot decide what happened specifically with respect to these allegations. He thinks, I have a feeling something happened. I'm not sure what happened, and accordingly, I have to acquit.
Explain to everyone why that also leads to an acquittal, because a lot of people are like, wait, what does that mean? Like, he thinks he might have done something. Why didn't he find him guilty of that?
Well, I think most people know that's not enough. It's not beyond a reasonable doubt. The threshold is quite high for a judge to make a determination of conviction. Then we also have WD. Tell us the basic concepts of WD.
Oh, WD.
It's a Supreme Court of Canada case, which is, it's almost trite law. It's like it's tattooed in every judge's, bench book. It's like vanilla.
I mean, it's basically, it applies when your client is testifying. And when your client testifies, you got to understand that the Crown still always bears the burden of proving the case beyond a reasonable doubt. But what happens is that the judge can accept some of your client's evidence or all of the client's evidence or reject all of it. But what it comes down to is that, okay, if you reject,
what's left?
Can you convict based on what you have?
Right.
Which is the complainant's evidence.
Right.
It's a full test, but essentially is like, if I don't believe the accused, has the Crown still done the case beyond a reasonable doubt?
Right. And thank God we have that test, because otherwise it may not have gone as well, right?
Right, exactly.
Right. So it was a great outcome. I was very relieved. I may actually now do another case involving children. But it was tough.
No, it was a tough case.
It was a tough case. I commiserated with Joe a lot about this one. It's funny because,
sometimes the pressure you are under as a defense lawyer when you're dealing with such cases, you're dealing with a child witness, you're dealing with someone's life, and, with these conflicting and complicated laws.
Right.
Sometimes you're under a lot of pressure, and you want to make sure that you're doing, everything right. But sometimes you have that feeling, you're like,
And let's face it, when we normally go into trials, we go in, adrenaline's pumping. I'm going to destroy this witness. Shields on.
You're ready to fight.
I'm going to chew this lying Crown witness to pieces.
Right.
I'm going to show her inconsistencies. I'm going to just slice and dice. And then you're confronted with this little 8-year-old girl on the TV screen via CCTV and go, oh my God, this is what do I do with this?
Yeah.
So, you make the gentle suggestions, and then, of course, no, that's what happened. I'm like, oh my God, just shoot me now. no, this is what happened. This is what he did. She was unflappable.
Well, you're a good defense lawyer. You did a great job.
Thank you.
That's what happened.
Next case, the weird one.
The one.
Yuvi loves this case.
I'm very interested in this, and I'm sorry.
But it's not a complicated case.
It's not a complicated case. It's just
trial dynamics. Let's call it that.
It's just what happened during the trial is something that, you don't see that happen every day.
No, you don't. It was a weird one, and special thanks to our admin Amy, who helped identify this issue.
Amy's excellent.
She is excellent. So it was standard he says, she says sex assault, if you can use that expression. Client meets up, goes to a house party with his friends, meets a girl he likes at the house party. Didn't they start hitting it off. It's a busy house party, so they want to make out. They go upstairs. It's too busy, so he basically says to her, "Hey, my car's parked out front. You want to go fool around?"
Right.
She agrees. She goes with him, follows him. They go outside to his car. They get in the back seat. One thing leads to another. She even says, "Oh, can you use a condom?" And they have sex, and then they part ways. They exchange social media information. He gives her his Instagram information. It's like nothing happened in his mind.
Right.
Then a few days, and then the police investigate. It takes a while for them to locate him. It allegedly happens 2021. It's only in 2022 that they track him down, and he's charged with sexual assault with choking. And he's like, "What?" Like,
Something that happened at a party. It was all fine.
it was all fine. She was totally into it. She handed me the condom, for crying out loud. Like, what the hell? Like,
Right.
nice client, no criminal record, no
Young guy.
young guy. Like, it's very dangerous
First
to be
time
a
in
young
the criminal
guy.
justice system.
Yeah, nothing. So, we prepared for trial, and off we went to our trial in London. And standard he says, she says. But I had an ace in the back of my pocket. I think back
Tell us
pocket.
about the ace.
You just love
Tell
the
us
ace.
about
She loves
the ace. I love the ace.
She loves the ace. I think this will be the ace episode.
The ace
The ace
episode, yes.
episode. Well, not so much the first case, but few cards short of an ace.
My
the first
friend,
case.
you aced that
I
as
did.
well.
Okay, we can call this the ace episode. So, it must have been like a few weeks before the trial, we get a new intake, new client. That's how that translates. And I met with him, and I went over the disclosure, but nothing twigged yet. Then when Amy was photocopying it twigged for her very quickly, because she's like, "Oh my God, this name is very similar to your other case." I said, "Hey, yeah, you're right. It was the same complainant." So the same complainant.
Boom.
And I'm like, Amy must have jumped 3 feet in the air when she saw this. I don't jump, so I may have just...
You're like, no.
Yeah. And I'm like going, this is mind-boggling. So in what universe do you get two clients...
How does it happen? When has it ever happened?
Never.
In your experience?
Never. In what universe do you get two clients charged by the same complainant in fairly short order, like months apart?
I would have such a good time. If I saw something like that, I'd be like marching a car in and out of my office as to how to use it.
Of course. I know. Well, that was the problem. So Joe and I sat there scratching our heads going, okay, how can we use this? And we concluded we can't. First client wasn't convicted, new charges.
Right, yeah.
Second client was about to go on a trial with her. And I got really pissed off at that point. I said, I'm getting this in somehow. I don't know how. Totally against all rule. Like, there's no legal foundation for me to cross-examine her on pending charges that she's accused someone of, because the court would likely say, well, she's equally a potential fabricator as she is potentially a
I know what you mean.
serial victim.
The myth, yeah.
Right? Like,
The myth,
maybe
yeah.
she's just been very
You
unlucky
have
in
to
her
be very
life.
careful. We've
Right.
discussed this numerous times on our podcast, the twin myths and how you have
Of
to
course.
steer away from it. So
Of course. So
coming from that
it
perspective.
was so frustrating, because I was like, okay, I'm getting this in come hell or high water. I'm getting this in somehow.
Right.
But I got to do it in a way that the Crown's not going to object.
Yeah.
And the judge isn't going to box my ears, as they used to say in preschool, or slap me
Yeah.
many times over, saying, no, you can't go there.
Yeah.
So I thought. I said, okay, I could call the Crown and say, hey, she's also accused someone else. You should look into this, because there was 2 different cities.
Yeah.
But then, what's the Crown going to do with that? The Crown will probably say to me, well, she's equally a repeat victim as she could be a repeat fabricator.
Right.
So the Crown would have jumped up instantly had she heard the name of the other accused, that she had broken up with.
Yeah.
So I was cross-examining her, and I hadn't decided how to get this, and it was so frustrating. And then we were talking about the house party she was at with this guy, with our client. And we were talking about guests, and she knew another group of friends that had been there. Oh, so this is where she gets all giddy.
I'm sorry, it's
I know.
exciting.
It is exciting.
It's you know, we always learn every day something new in our practice.
Right.
Like, you know, sometimes you come across an issue
Right,
that
of
I've
course.
never heard in my life.
Same with you. We constantly bounce
We
ideas.
constantly bounce ideas, so
Right.
it's juicy.
So, yeah, so we were going over who's at the party, and you gotta understand, up until that point, she was like super victim. She had her little stuffy support frog with her, and she was like very aggressive.
A support frog?
Yeah, she had a little stuffed frog. It was kind of cute.
Oh, stuffy, okay.
What do you think it was?
A real frog?
No, she didn't bring a real frog.
I don't know, it was like a stuffed frog. Like,
No, it wasn't a stuffed frog. It was
I'm
a stuffy.
Okay.
Okay, like a squishmallow thing.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. She got a commission for saying that from the Squishmallow people. But in any event, so there she was, very confrontational, very denying all the suggestions. I said, can I ask you something? Let's talk about who was at this party. So it was you, a group of friends. My client was so-and-so also at that party. Oh, well, that was the Kodak moment. I don't know if you can still say Kodak moment. Whatever you say nowadays. Is that the moment? Yeah. It was like her demeanor changed almost instantly because she didn't know what else I knew.
Right.
The
Exactly. Yeah.
The crown didn't know who the hell I was talking about. The crown was just sitting there going, okay, whatever. I don't know who this guy is. No one in the courtroom knew who the first guy was except me, the client, and her. So it was a little weird thing going on there, but her demeanor she fell apart.
Oh, wow.
She started being less adversarial, less combative. She couldn't remember things as well as she did during the first part of the cross, so she just fell apart. And at the end of the case, we didn't even get as far as a judgment. The crown just got up and basically said, well, to use a colloquial, this is a piece of case. Didn't say this is a piece of because she'd probably get in trouble, but she just said, I'm pulling this, basically. Your Honor, I'm inviting an acquittal.
Right.
That's like this.
Damn. Good job.
It was fun. It was
Good
fun.
job.
That rare, yeah,
Ace.
ace. I'm gonna get a T-shirt
call this
with
an
ace. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. So that was a great outcome. I'm not sure if the client totally appreciated it as much as I did. Well, he appreciated the outcome, but
We appreciate you.
yeah, thank you.
Good job,
Thank you.
counsel.
Thank you. Ready? Are you going to do the pillow? Are we at time to do the
so the pillow time.
You always do the pillow.
I forgot. Again, donate, people. Donate.
You and your donations.
Like, comment, subscribe, and share.
Got it. Please do. Thank you, folks.
Bye.